So have you guys ever been recommended a show that you just somehow missed out on growing up, and then after watching a few episodes or even a season or two of it, you're just like, how have I missed this? This is one of those shows for me. Big Wolf on Campus is a Canadian TV show that came out in the late 90s and aired on Fox Family. It starred Brandon Quinn as our werewolf character Tommy and Danny Smith as his best friend named Merton. Now again, for the longest time, I had absolutely no idea that this show even existed. And from someone who grew up watching both horror movies and Fox Family, and even shows like Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, I have no idea how I missed this show. I first heard about Big Wolf on Campus after watching a few videos about it from a channel that I'm subscribed to here on YouTube. And on that note, I want to give a big shout out to Tracy from Squish. Guys, be sure to go check out her channel. She's got a lot of awesome content about werewolves, vampires, horror movies, Halloween Horror Nights, and more. I'll post a link and tag her channel in the description, so be sure to go check out and subscribe to her channel. So with that said, guys, I just recently finished season 1 of Big Wolf on Campus. So let's get into my review. Now, the story of Big Wolf on Campus takes place in a town called Pleasantville and revolves around a popular high schooler and the captain of the football team named Tommy Dawkins, who was bitten by a werewolf, and he eventually befriends and allies himself with a nerdy goth kid named Merton Dingle, who helps Tommy with his werewolf abilities and even helps him take on a variety of supernatural foes. Now guys, I'm going to be completely honest. I was surprised by this show. I thought this show was a lot of fun and it was pretty entertaining. Now, I will admit I was a little nervous going into it because when it comes to werewolves, I can get a little picky. I don't normally care for werewolves that can talk. I just like the concept of our character having to turn into something animalistic and monstrous despite their better nature. Now, films like Teen Wolf and Hotel Transylvania have always been my exception to that. Well, until now. I really enjoyed the use of practical effects, even though the design of Tommy and his werewolf form I thought was just okay. There wasn't much to it, the show didn't have the biggest budget, and there was also some inconsistencies that I noticed with the makeup, where in some episodes the hair would be shorter and then longer in the next episode, and then it would go back to being short again in the episode after that. But in all fairness, I did read that the werewolf makeup was going to be more, but it had to be limited because the actors suffered an allergic reaction to the original makeup. So overall, even though I thought it was just okay, I still think the design of the werewolf worked. Big Wolf on Campus has a Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Teen Wolf-like vibe. They even went as far as making a parody of Buffy in one of the episodes where we meet a girl whose name is Muffy the Werewolf Slayer, who even gets an official show about her in that episode named Muffy the Werewolf Slayer. But Big Wolf on Campus is like Buffy in the sense that we get a high school team having to take on supernatural threats, and it's like Teen Wolf in the sense that our main character is a high schooler who's a werewolf. Now, as mentioned, they do take on a variety of villains. I won't reveal all of them, but here's a few for example. We do have a woman who drives a bookmobile, like a library on wheels, and is able to trap her victims inside books. We have a college sorority of witches that corrupt Tommy's crush, Stacy. We have a florist who's able to suck the life out of their victims, which causes them to age in the process. And we also have a group of vampires robbing blood banks, and Tommy and Merton have to pose as vampires so that way they don't get attacked by these vampires. And one of my favorite episodes is when they even take on Death himself. When Tommy and Merton took on Death, after Death was after Tommy's soul, Tommy attempted to challenge Death to chess to fight for his soul, even though Tommy didn't know how to play chess. And after he lost shamefully, he tried challenging him to a multitude of different board games. And he gets shamefully defeated in all of them. That scene was classic. Now, Tommy eventually does cross paths with another werewolf who claims to be the one who infected him, and is also revealed to be his substitute teacher. They eventually fought while the school was having an 80s themed dance, and Tommy defeated him using his best Michael Jackson dance moves. Guys, that scene was great. You should go check it out. When it comes to the characters, I thought each of the characters were just perfectly cast, and they all had great chemistry. Probably the best, of course, would be between Tommy and Merton. The actors did great and worked really well together. You could tell they were having a lot of fun. And I also have to say, in addition to playing Merton Dingle, Danny Smith gets extra props because he also wrote and performed the opening theme song. which was a great theme song, actually. I do think you guys should check out this show, but just a heads up, you may have to do some digging here on YouTube as it's not really available anywhere else on streaming. I did watch the first season here on YouTube, but the quality wasn't the greatest. There was moments where you would get shots of some old commercials from when the TV show probably first ran on air. But I'm going to be completely honest, I personally did not mind that because it felt a little nostalgic for me, because it reminded me of back when, in order to preserve these shows before streaming, you would have to use your VHS tapes and set them to record into your VCR and then threaten nuclear war upon your house if anybody should mess with your recording, just to make sure you don't lose your show forever. Man, those were the days. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts for Season 1 of Big Wolf on Campus. Again, guys, I do recommend that you should check this show out. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it and be highly entertained. It's got a great cast of characters. It's got a great story. It's got a great variety of villains. Again, you might have to do some digging here on YouTube to be able to watch it, but guys, you should check it out. It's a lot of fun. At some point, I will have a review for the next season, but until then, I do have a review coming out soon, so be sure to stay tuned for that, guys. Thanks so much again. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying my content. Have a great one, guys.